different, but it's very pretty out here. I believe they're setting up the flag now.
What's up, XRP bag stuffers? XRP bags back with another one. How's everybody doing out there? XRP, the best digital asset, the fastest, most secure, most scalable, most cost efficient, eco-friendly, enterprise ready digital asset, the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. XRP, I need you XRPers. I have a windfall coming and I want a new art studio before I get too old to build it. I am feeble now, but I think I can build it. Cost $6,500 if I do it all by myself. If I wait, it won't happen. Should I spend it on the studio or 32,000 XRP? What would you guys do? Would you guys do the studio, buy the XRP, or tough decision? I went ahead and bought the XRP. What would you guys do? There's an article that came out that Brad Garlinghouse commented on. U.S. regulators, now is the time to step up and lean into digital currencies. Remaining complacent is actually setting us back while China's grip on both crypto and fiat payments becomes stronger. This piece nails it. One caveat: public digital assets like XRP are not exempt from U.S. or global financial oversight. Actually, the opposite. Responsible players who use the assets want to work with regulators, not against them. Could China's digital currency unseat the dollar? China becomes the first major economy to conduct a real-world test of national digital currencies. A pilot project which is occurring in 4 large Chinese cities is a clear sign that China is years ahead of the United States in the development of what is likely to become a central component of a digital world economy. I don't think they're behind because I think they've been testing XRP. They've been working with Ripple since 2014, 2015 now. Ripple has an office in Washington. I think they're just trying to make it look like they're behind, but I think XRP will be used to level the playing field. It'll be like their the trump card that they will use on them. U.S. policymakers are unprepared for the consequences. The advent of digital currencies will degrade the efficacy of U.S. sanctions, limiting the country's option to respond to national security threats from Iran, North Korea, Russia, and others. It will also hamper the ability of U.S. authorities to track illicit financial flows, and China, meanwhile, will use the combination of its digital yuan and strong electronic payment platforms such as Alipay and WeChat to expand its influence and reinforce its capacity for economic erosion in Africa, the Middle East, and Southeast Asia. Rather than resting on the laurels of the dollar's decade-long dominance, the United States must act now to protect its economic advantage in the coming era of national digital currencies. Chinese president's hallmark economic development strategy made in China's 2025 aimed to turn China into a leader in cutting-edge technology. Accordingly, when China's central bank determined in 2014 that a state-backed digital currency had the potential to protect its financial autonomy and heighten its international economic influence, the essential ingredients, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and digital payments platform, were already under development. A digital currency is any form of money that exists in electronic form as opposed to a tangible bill or coin. By contrast, the digital yuan is hyper-centralized. It is controlled by the People's Bank of China, or PBOC, and integrated with China's current banking system. It will likely follow a 2-tiered structure, with the PBOC issuing digital coins to a network of state-owned banks and payment firms such as Alipay, WeChat, which in turn will distribute them to individuals and businesses through mobile banking and payment apps. The backbone of the United States financial dominance, SWIFT, which facilitates messages between banks about payment orders and a network of U.S. corresponding banks, which serves as the intermediary to execute international payments. Most cross-border payments, nearly $5 trillion per day, are directed through SWIFT messages. and a significant portion are routed through U.S. corresponding banks. Information sharing with these institutions allow U.S. authorities to identify illicit activities such as money laundering and terrorist financing. The system gives the United States enormous leverage over the states, since sanctions that cut a country off from this network are usually a death sentence. Nations on the receiving end have in turn become increasingly resentful, but it is not just U.S. adversaries who see the appeal of having an alternate dollar-based cross-border transactions. Even some U.S. allies are looking for ways to undercut this leverage. Last year, the governor of the United States Kingdom Central Bank, Mark Carney, called for an international digital currency that could dampen the domineering influence of the US dollar on global trade. So what do they need? They need the one and only XRP to level the playing field. Everybody could send money like information, and everybody can do it on a level playing field where nobody can be charged and have control, like the SWIFT system has control, and they're able to shut people down whenever they want to, but they won't be able to once they level the playing field with XRP, and it runs the new financial system. So why would you want to use those? Why would you want to use that old system when you can use XRP? You can settle in 3 seconds, send money anywhere in the world instantly. So that's what they will use, and everybody is calling for it. I believe that the reset that happens, it will be with XRP running the new system through RippleNet and using the digital asset XRP. So as you see, nations on the receiving end have in turn become increasingly resentful, but it's just not U.S. adversaries who see the appeal of having alternative dollar-based cross-border transactions. Even some U.S. allies are looking forward to undercut this leverage. Last year, the governor of the United Kingdom Central Bank's Mark Carney called for an international digital currency that could dampen the domineering influence of the US dollar on global trade. Russia has developed a SWIFT alternative system called System for Transfer of Financial Messages. China has its own called the Cross-Border Bank Interbank Payments, and 5 EU nations have joined the instrument in support of trade exchanges INSTEX, which aims to facilitate non-SWIFT and non-dollar denominated transactions, primarily with Iran. Digital currencies further the goal of avoiding dollar transactions and U.S. financial oversight, since they provide a scalable cross-border mechanism that circumvents the current system. The Central Bank of Canada and Singapore are already exploring the use of smart contracts to pass messages between digital currency systems. What is the only digital asset that is available and ready for enterprise use? XRP, the greatest of all time, is ready to be put in place to level the playing field and allow this power and control to stop and open up trade and open up finance 24/7 for pennies on the dollar. Over the past several decades, U.S. economic power has served as the foundation of U.S. global might. Now policymakers must decide how to protect it, and in an era when China or even a private company such as Facebook can challenge American banks and payment infrastructure. A digital dollar initiative will combine the strength and stability of the US dollar with the convenience and efficiency of digital technology. RippleNet, XRP. Launching the initiative will be difficult. Financial institutions and technology companies will likely see a threat to their proprietary digital payment solutions. U.S. policymakers and regulators will quickly need to fill knowledge gaps in digital payment technologies, and a slew of regulatory and policy changes will be required to, for example, protect users' privacy and ensure data and system security in a more digitized economy. So far, the U.S. Federal Reserve has been cautious but slow. Governors outlined significant obstacles relating to issuing and administering a digital dollar, including the need to establish the Fed's legal authority to issue money in digital form, need to develop operational capacity to manage a digital currency. We have David Schwartz, protecting user privacy, preventing counterfeiting, mitigating cyber risk, and the need to understand its implications for monetary policy and financial stability. Ultimately and inevitably, monetary systems are headed toward greater digitization and independence from U.S. intermediaries. Policymakers will need to respond by formulating multinational data sharing agreements, guidelines for interoperable digital systems, Ripple XRP interoperable, and privacy regulations for cross-border payment data. U.S. policymakers should take a leading role in these efforts to prevent a fragmented payment system rather than letting other nations dictate the terms. And I don't think they're waiting in the wings because they already have what they need with XRP and the RippleNet system. So what else do they need to do except flip the switch and get the show on the road? And now what do we have here? Introducing a new world reserve currency. Wikipedia describes a reserve currency as currency that is held in significant quantities by governments and institutions as part of their foreign exchange reserves. The reserve currency is commonly used in international transactions, international investments, and all aspects of global economy. It is often considered a hard currency or safe haven currency. People who live in a country that issues a reserve currency can purchase imports and borrow across borders more cheaply than people in other nations because they don't need to exchange their currency to do so. XRP is perfectly positioned to serve as a world currency. It can be held in significant quantities to provide liquidity for foreign exchange reserves, international transactions, and investments, and all other uses throughout a global economy. In an earlier article, XRP was designed for 10,000. I quoted a Ripple Labs co-founder, Arthur Britto, who wrote XRP must be scalable to accommodate 7.5 billion people. Does that mean that it was designed to be used by every human on the planet and to serve as a world reserve currency? Yes and yes. And here's the world economy, gross domestic product. Let's look at XRP's ability to scale. At its creation, a total of 100 billion XRP were created. No more can ever be created, so it's deflationary in nature, setting aside the fact that some of these XRP have been burned or lost. 100 billion XRP at a 10,000 per XRP will provide a 1 quadrillion in total value. This is enough to easily account for 244 trillion global debt, Bloomberg, as well as 88 trillion global GDP. By its very nature, XRP is highly liquid with fast transactions and settlement times. It is also inexpensive to use. It is used as a de facto reserve currency. There is no need to exchange it for fiat currency, though it is also easy to do across multiple currencies and payment networks via the Interledger Protocol, ILP. So, what is the secret that the politicians, non-governmental organizations, and major financial institutions might have been hiding from us? XRP will be a world reserve currency, and it will be used to pay off debt. It will solve debt crisis without devaluating fiat currencies. For example, the US government and other governments could buy XRP at very low OTC rates, which wouldn't drive prices up on the retail exchanges. Likewise, major financial institutions could also stock up on XRP at extremely attractive prices. When all the systems, policies, and agreements are in place, they simply announce that XRP will serve as a reserve currency. This drives utility and demand, which rapidly increases the price of XRP. The governments could then settle their debts using XRP, which would not devalue their fiat because They would not be printed any additional dollars or other fiat currencies. This would explain why the US administration, the IMF, and the World Bank have been so positive about Ripple Labs, XRapid, and XRP, and on-demand liquidity. It would also explain why the SEC and other federal agencies have not yet weighed in on XRP status as a security or other types of assets. It would also explain why the price of XRP has been very steady at a low price for more than 15 months, despite a constant stream of positive news about partnerships, production deals, and so forth. My prediction, we will see such an announcement within the next 24 months, followed by significant sustained price growth for the XRP over the course of a decade or more. What do you guys think about that? Disclaimer, he's not a financial advisor, just a cryptocurrency enthusiast who is convinced that distributed ledger technology, blockchain, and other technologies are the future of all financial transactions. I am especially keen on XRP. Do not use this as financial advice because I might be wrong. Do your own research, consult financial experts, and make your own investment decisions. XRP, solving trillions, solving quadrillions, saving billions, saving trillions, moving money like we move information, leveling the playing field. XRP is the wild card. XRP is the answer. XRP is the one. XRP will be a world reserve currency. XRP yo-yo.
New technologies have enabled the emergence of crypto assets, but what are they? As a central bank of the euro, we are interested in these developments and the impact on our financial system. One of our key objectives is to ensure that payments are made safely and efficiently across the euro area. For these reasons, we are looking at the benefits, but also assessing the risks. Crypto assets use new technologies to enable peer-to-peer transactions, but they are not backed by anything or anyone to preserve their value. In fact, they have high volatility, which makes them largely unfit for day-to-day payments. What are known as stablecoins could be a game changer if they played by the rules. The technology is there and keeps evolving, opening up new possibilities, including for central banks. We are getting ready by updating our policies, testing new technologies, and fostering an innovative payments market for the euro.
Ripple XRP, playing by the rules, working with regulators, working with the financial system, working with the banks.
All the rent through your digital tokens or tokenization. So fintech and proptech, currently the two largest markets which we are entering into the tokenization. So all the derivatives, all the real estate would be tokenized, and it's like a 700 trillion USD per year. And they will definitely be digitized by using such technologies as universal, as through CBDC, through stablecoins, square meters, all other assets. It might be gold, it might be intellectual property, it might be user-generated content, or it might be your working hours. All such things would be easily tokenized. So if you...
They can't say the name, but you know what it is. XRP, running through the Ripple net. You guys already know. 700 trillion, you know how much money. There's going to be a lot of money running through Ripple net. It's not just going to be cross-border payments. It's going to be all money that moves. We will be moving all money like information moves, because XRP is the greatest of all time. They already have what they need. XRP has the system built, have the team. They still have more stuff coming out. Ecosystem is being built. XRP is the one and only. I'm not a financial advisor, but you guys already know I'm stuffing my bags with XRP. Every day I'm buying the dip. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys.
The transition is going to be very interesting, but you're going to see some very good numbers coming out of the third quarter. It's a transition. I call it the transition to greatness. We're going to have a great year next year. You'll see.
We can get dug out by the third or fourth quarter of this year economically.
Well, the third quarter, we're moving in that direction. Right, I would say it's starting right about now. We're going to start moving in that direction. But the third quarter will be, I think it's going to be very good. It's going to be a very good indicator, but it's going to be very good. But it is a transition quarter. The fourth quarter is going to be good. It could be maybe more than good, Kevin. And next year is going to be, I think it's going to be a really powerful year economically.
There are too many. There are around 3,000 different digital assets that trade on a daily basis now. I think, anytime there's a new market, there's a lot of people that run into that market and try to show that they can solve a problem, they can deliver a customer need. I have said publicly before that I think 99% of all crypto probably goes to zero. But there is that 1% where I think that is focused on solving a real problem for real customers and is able to do that at scale. And that's going to be game changing. And I think that's going to continue to grow significantly in the decades ahead.